The opinions expressed in the following program are those of the producer and not necessarily those of WKTV Community Media.
Hello, West Michigan. This is Grand Tap Media Business TV. My name is Pamela Keim, your host. The spirit of the show is to introduce West Michigan to all the businesses, nonprofits, individuals that can help us thrive in our lives. We have a very special guest for you today, and he's going to be on the show today to talk about something wonderful that is happening at Lake Michigan Credit Union Park at the Whitecaps games, and it is going to be on Saturday, August 27th. I want to welcome to the show Brett Johnson. He is the Regional Director of Ashley HomeStores, and he is going to talk about their mission with veterans and what they do in our community and how they have just exploded in creating more stores in I guess, West Michigan.
Hi, Pam.
Welcome to the show, Brett.
Thanks for having me.
All right, you're going to talk here and talk a little bit and introduce who you are, what Ashley HomeStore is. Maybe people drive by it and kind of wonder what kind of furniture are in there, and talk about this, of course, this exciting event that's going to be happening on Saturday, on August 27th.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. We couldn't be more thrilled with the reception we've received in Western Michigan over the last 5 years as we moved into this market and really made a new home for ourselves. We're a family-owned business. We've got 3 stores in Central Ohio, and that's really where we grew up as a family furniture company. Became an Ashley licensee about 20 years ago, and saw that Western Michigan back in 2017 was a great opportunity for us to really expand our reach, not just in providing home solutions for all of our customers, but really how can we expand our impact with the veteran community, which is near and dear to our heart. As a family-owned, veteran-owned business, there's no more important group of people not only to honor, but really support in every way that we possibly can.
Well, we met back in 2019.
Yes.
We did the Grand Castle Library debut, and it was going to honor Virgil Westdale, which we're going to share a little bit, just a little bit about where he came. We're sad that he has passed, yes. But he was in the Army in World War II, and he helped to liberate Dachau, the concentration camp, if many of you know your history. And he had all that story, and he wrote a book on that. But I want to share when we were doing that too. It's like when I met you and we went to your store. Let's talk about, if you go to Ashley HomeStore, you will see an area of your store that is totally dedicated to veterans. And when I went to meet you, I was just blown away by that. Now, is that something that's always been part of it? Share a little bit about that.
Well, that's a great question, Pam. And first, I'd like to get back to Virgil. I had the privilege to meet Virgil in early 2018, and he was our honored veteran guest at our first store opening in Kentwood. And got to meet him, and he later, when we initiated a relationship with the Whitecaps and started the Hometown Heroes, where we were able to honor one of the veterans that we'd met in the community on the home games on the weekends for the last several years. Virgil was one of those veterans that we were able to honor in front of the entire stadium, and really that's just one of the great things that we do to help honor our vets. But you mentioned what goes on in the stores, and really it was about 20 years ago as a company, we put it to our employees and asked them, what organization or group can we create the greatest amount of positive impact for that you want to get behind? And ownership stayed out of it. We left it to the employees, and veterans were at the top of the list. So not only do we do celebrations in all of our markets, and we've done honor flights to DC, and several different other trips to support veterans. But we have what's called a wall of honor. And every veteran that we come into contact with in our stores first we bring them over and we'll have them ring a gong. And as corny as that may sound, when that gong goes off, everything in the store stops. It doesn't matter if you're working with guests, if you're on a conference call, if you're in a meeting, all those activities stop, and we will congregate with that veteran and thank them for their service, get to know them a little bit more. We take their picture and we put it on our wall of honor. And that wall of honor has hundreds of photos, and going back several years in Ohio, we have the magazine or poster racks that you'd see in the stores filled with photos that people can just flip through along with what's on the wall. We've had to create digital walls because we don't have enough walls. It will present them with a challenge coin that we custom make every year to honor them. And then since they served us, they receive service for life, so service for service. So if they purchase, obviously we always like that.
Of course,
but
yes.
we're going to make sure that they have service for the lifetime that they have our products, and complimentary delivery. But really, it's about the honoring that goes the furthest. And 11 years ago, we began our first Veterans Celebration in our stores in Ohio. And initially, we had 25 veterans come into a store. Fast forward, as we moved into Michigan, we had our first celebration in 2018, and we too had about 25 to 30 veterans. It grew and doubled the next year, and then we had COVID.
Yeah, I think we all know what that was like.
Yeah.
I always tell people you can just pretty much wipe off the 20 and 21 building back to what we have. What the new normal is on that one. And I'm sure you guys were closed.
Yeah, like many businesses, we were shut down for a few months, and then certainly unlimited capacities throughout the summer of 20. But if that's what we could do to help, obviously, protect our guests and our employees, we certainly were going to do that. As we were approaching the fall, and our teams were very disappointed. The assumption was we weren't going to be able to do a celebration. And, during those times, it was certainly understandable. I reached out to our partners at the Whitecaps, and I said, how can we do something? Not why can't we?
Good. That's good.
And that was our first time out at the ballpark. We could be outdoors, socially distant, and we held our first outdoor celebration combining both stores at that time. Instead of having them at the store. And that's just, spawned into just a great partnership and tradition. This will be our third year out at the ballpark now.
Your third year.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about a little bit, let's just stay a little bit on Ashley HomeStore, and then we'll go into that one. Okay, so to me, whenever I interview a lot of people, and we've known each other, and you know that, and stuff, and my key is who are the people behind the business, and as we all meet people, you want to connect with somebody.
Certainly.
And of course, when I met you, when you helped us on the grand opening of the library in the castle, it was just like, right away, Brett Johnson is, really dedicated to veterans. And how do you find, I know you mentioned that, but as your owners,
Sure.
I mean, what would you like to tell veterans? You know what, we really appreciate you, you understand that, and then we want to honor you. But as come into our store and just, experience, Ashley, can you share a little bit about?
I'd love to. One of the phrases I'd like to use, we're nationally known, but we're locally owned. As an organization, Ashley Home Stores, there's well over 1,000, throughout the states and worldwide.
Can you share a little bit what's in it? So we have your basic furniture, your beds. I've gone in them and things, and I've bought stuff. Like I said, friends have brought friends in to buy things. What exactly if somebody's never been?
Sure.
What would you have?
Well, Ashley is the #1 manufacturer of furniture in the world.
Okay.
And it's designed to be affordable and stylish. So vast majority of all of our guests is affordable. But the style is going to be second to none. The quality is second to none. Since we have a direct relationship and partnership with the manufacturer, we're able to sell it at a more affordable rate. So Ashley is our furniture brand. When it comes to bedding, we've got the best of the best, from Tempur-Pedic and Purple to Simmons Beautyrest Black.
Wow, okay.
The latest from Serta, and of course our own Ashley Sleep. So outside of, infants, but cribs are coming.
They are?
They are coming.
Okay, children's furniture, I'm sure, is very popular.
Ashley Baby is coming. It's right around the corner.
Is it really?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So really, we don't sell billiard tables and we don't sell hot tubs.
Okay.
But everything else that you may want to furnish the home that you want to go home to and to entertain in. The greatest thing we always talk about is, we're in the memory making business.
Right.
So,
Most of us will have our furniture for a long time.
Sure will.
And sometimes you just want to change out maybe one item. I've always heard that, if you just change out one or two items, it can change your whole, bring some warmth into your living space as you're at it.
Well, what's really fun about our Ashley stores, and we take such great pride in, number one, we've got, I would say, Western Michigan's best store designer there is.
I thought so too when I went in it.
Chris just does an amazing job. I mean, he takes furniture and then creates entire stories. And in an era of online shopping, which you disconnect the emotional side of really what the home is to all of us. It's not just the sofa, it's the accents. It's the things that are more unique to the individuals. And we have by far the largest selection of home accent and decor anywhere in Western Michigan.
I walked into the Granville, I was at your ribbon cutting
Yes.
of the Granville store, and I brought David in a few weeks when we picked up some flyers on the event that we're going to be talking about, and he walked in and he was like, I was just blown away because, it wasn't expecting all of the knickknacks and all the stuff that you're right, Chris, your designer, or is he called a designer?
Yes.
Yeah, I have met him because he helped me at the castle. But the idea that we just kept walking around and we were impressed by most of it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to be fit into everything, but David's just like, well, what about this and what about this? We were looking for some stuff for our kitchen.
Well, the whole idea really is traditionally in furniture retail. The accessories are props. Something that typically companies, and years ago we did the same thing, you'd hold on to for years. For us, we prefer to bring in what's fresh and new as frequently as possible. So we're bringing them, we're telling a story, it might be a seasonal story with the new colors, and we want it to go to the customers' homes because we want to bring something else in.
Right. That brings us to why you are here. We're going to be talking about the event that you're having at the,
Yes.
like I said, Lake Michigan Park. And we're going to be talking about who's going to be your keynote, what's going to be available, what giveaways. We talked about that. So
Sure.
please, let's have you take that.
Okay. So just coming up in just a few weeks. Yesterday, I think we were 1 month out of our 5th celebration at Lake Michigan Credit Union Ballpark on the 27th. So what it is really every veteran in Western Michigan, their families, active military, reservists, we want you to come out. Yeah. It's an absolutely free event. We'll have breakfast, at the event as well. We've got John McLeod, otherwise known as Mac in the Morning from 105.7, who is our MC now for the 4th year.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
He's the voice on the radio in a lot of our TV commercials, so just another great partner in the community that we've got friendships with. So he comes out and supports. He is part of a military family as well. So this is near and dear to him. So he's our kind of master of ceremonies. We're going to do some new things this year.
Let's hear this.
Well, one of the things that we always like to do, and really a mission of the event, is to put veterans in contact with veteran support groups that may or may not have interacted in the past. So this year we're going to be inviting representatives of several of those organizations that come out and support the event, and they'll have tables up in the concourse to actually do a roundtable. with the audience and
All
just
right.
really kind of outline what they're doing for the veteran community of note here in 2022. So really excited for that portion of it. And then, of course, we've got Captain Tom Burke.
Let's talk about Captain Tom Burke. That we were happy to connect you with
Yes,
that's in
thank
our
you for
community,
that.
and you didn't realize that even somebody of that caliber was living, very close.
Right around the corner.
That's right. But Captain Tom Burke was the former USS Ronald Reagan captain of, I wanted to say, of the Navy. And he used to oversee 5,000 Navy commanders out there. And I just found him fascinating. He graduated from the University of Michigan, and then he goes on to Harvard and get his master's, and he's just had an incredible career. He is from Michigan.
Yes.
He's from Holly, Michigan. And then he ended up wanting to come back to he wanted to live in West Michigan. He said he always wanted to live in West Michigan. So him and his family came here to West Michigan, and they live in Walker, and now he is one of the commissioners in the city of Walker. So, he's got a lot to share, and I told him, I'm like, you're going to have to bring up some of the stuff. I did interview him on the show. But he did connect you, so did you have a clue what he's going to talk about?
Oh, yes, but I'm going to leave that for Tom to talk about. What I really was, excited about when talking to Tom for the first time, we were being interviewed and what we stand for and what we believe in as a company and really what the event stands for, more than I was interviewing him.
Really?
Oh yes, Tom is very selective and wanted to make sure that this was the type of event that mirrored his mission and values. So
Yes.
that was a really engaging conversation. Now, Captain Tom has big shoes to fill. We were privileged enough just a couple of years ago to have Doc McLuhan, a Medal of Honor recipient,
Okay.
native Michigander. And we also had just an incredible performer out of Los Angeles who tells stories of the war and reenactments going back to the 1940s. And he'll be joining us down in Ohio this year.
Okay.
So,
Do you do an event there too?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So every area that you're in? Okay.
yes.
Wow. All right.
So, no, I'm really looking forward to Tom's message to the veteran group and
I'm
for the
just teasing you
non-veteran
about
group.
it.
I love it.
I'm just teasing you about it. When I saw him last week, I'm like, you got to say that. Yeah, I'm joking and giving him advice. And of course, he's looking at me,
Sure.
with his eye. Like, okay, Pamela. But no, he does have a lot to share. And when I had him on the show, one of the interesting things that we spoke about when he was on the show was out of somebody that has been in the Pentagon, and he was there at 9/11.
Yeah.
And so he saw all of that, but he did see the relationship with China growing and the difficulties that we might have, and of course their military buildup. And I'm not sure what he's going to share, but that was interesting to me, and of course the possibility of a relationship, as all Americans should be concerned about, is maybe when we see that relationship with China and Russia. And when you're at the ballpark, and we're all having a good time, but we will be military people
Yes.
there. And I'm sure many of these military people see things, that possibility of things that can get us into situations. I don't want to say anything worse than that, but you know what I mean, like we just seen in Ukraine. But to be around military people is just a whole different mindset. They have a different, they served, you want to honor them, but they have a whole different view because they have left America and they've gone to these difficult places, right? So they all have so many interesting stories.
The stories are just fascinating, and with the opportunity to meet them in the stores, but really when being out in the community. And oftentimes I'll have my logo on, and I'll get pulled aside. They either learned about us and the Ashley vision and support of veterans out at the ballpark, during a hometown hero celebration. And there's nothing more moving than being out there and the veteran that I'm hosting being honored in front of the whole stadium, and the place just erupts.
Right. Right.
But the stories.
The stories
are fascinating.
incredible, and the insight in being, at that, and I guess in the weeds, that we just maybe see in a documentary, people that were actually there.
Yeah.
And knew the people that you saw, and that's what that was interesting about interviewing Captain Tom Burke before I knew him as well as I do now, is just all of being part of that 9/11, and he was just right in the trenches of it. You know, they sent him over. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he shared a little bit of that. I have no idea what he's going to talk about. I'm sure it will be great.
I think it's going to be wonderful. And then there's the highlight of what seemingly the veterans really enjoy about our celebrations.
What?
Well, we love to give stuff away. And we've got some great partners within the community, within our industry, who have come out, even during these challenging times, with unprecedented support. So we're going to be giving away furniture and mattresses, and I had a follower contact me from Los Angeles who saw the posting on our event this year.
Okay.
Who is, she runs a fitness studio and does a lot of online Zoom, fitness classes. And she said, how many months worth of free fitness classes can I donate for your event? And she's in Los Angeles.
Wow. Okay.
Someone who followed us in New England is having some custom military-esque items designed and built and shipped in for us.
Well, that,
so yeah, it's
I
just
mean, that kind of stuff is always touching. I think people really. One thing I do like, and I'm sure it goes in other communities,
Sure.
but growing up here in West Michigan, is we're just such a giving community. We have many nonprofits that try to fill the needs of people whenever there's a problem. We have many people that step up and take the leadership role in our community. So I always tell people, you have to live here to experience it. Now, I'm not saying January and February is always charming. I will tell you that, but we do appreciate our 4 seasons, correct? But your giveaways, do you have to sign up for that, or how does that work? Because I'll be there,
So sign up for the event is quite simple. You can stop into the stores. You can follow us on Facebook. It's on Eventbrite, which is a great online tool. But we've got links on our websites or Facebook for the Ashley Home Stores here in Western Michigan. Just go on and register. This is an absolutely free event. Only veterans are eligible for the giveaways. But everyone else, we're having free breakfast for everyone out in attendance, and
Right. So they can bring your friends, your neighbors,
bring your
anybody
family.
that would
Absolutely.
like to. But they do have to sign up.
They do have to sign up.
Okay.
So registration runs through August 20th. It's a simple registration. You scan the QR code, and you type in your name and your phone number and email, and every guest registers. So we want to make sure we have enough food and coffee.
Right.
Because you cannot run out of coffee.
You cannot run out of coffee. And it's good that it's at 8 o'clock. It's unusual because it is at 8 a.m.
Yeah, doors open at 8 o'clock. The event kicks off with the presentations about 9:15.
Okay.
And we'll run for about two and a half hours. Like I said, a lot of giveaways for the veterans. And it's just a lot of fun.
Well, when you register, you don't have to bring, if you don't have your military ID, you don't have to bring that at the door. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, and you have some areas that you are reserving for the handicap that might be coming, correct?
Well, one of our great partners reached out to us, and they wanted to bring some of their residents. And obviously, there are still the concerns of COVID. And so we will have a special section for those who need to be in masks or socially distant. Our volunteers of the event will make sure that we're masked up in those zones as well to help support them. We don't want there to be any reason why someone couldn't come out.
Okay.
So we'll have golf carts to shuttle people up if it's too far of a walk.
Yes.
We'll have attendants there to run food to their stadium seats if they'd like to eat there. Otherwise, in the ballpark, there's certainly a number of spaces. But yeah, it's breakfast time at the ballpark.
And I think it sounds fabulous, and I can't wait to have that. All right, let me pause here and then see if there's any other questions.
Okay.
We got 1 minute left. Anything that we didn't cover? The community, was there anything I needed to bring up? Tell us a little bit about your interaction with veterans over the over the years. You've
that,
shared
yeah.
that. What else do you want? I mean, what else do you do to support veterans? And you said the wall,
Yep.
lifetime service, Operation Hometown Hero. You
Yep.
did that. What can can the community do to help support this great event? Yeah, that's
There
great.
you go.
Okay, all right, ready? All right, we're going to finish up with the final question here with
Sure.
Brett Johnson. What can the community do to make this a great event and show honor to the veterans that we so much appreciate, and
Sure.
we're just are so thankful? for
Well,
what they
you
do?
know, I would challenge any of our local businesses or veteran-owned, businesses. If you'd like to contribute something that we can give away to our veterans, they can reach out to me directly at the Ashley Home Stores in Granville, or more importantly, go onto our Facebook, get a copy of the flyer, put it up in your business.
Oh,
Help
that-
spread the
okay.
word, because we all have our own networks, and this isn't to drive sales for my particular company. This is really just to honor our veterans, and the more we can have community outreach and help support them, the better off we will all be.
Well, that's great. And where do they just go if they want a flyer? I do have flyers here. I've been passing out. Commander Andy Kroll and I have been dropping off at all of our veterans location, people that work with veterans, lawyers that work with veterans. But they can get a flyer similar as this, and then they get that where?
They can pick them up at any of our 3 stores in Granville, Kentwood, and Kalamazoo. They can go on our Facebook page. There'll be one posted there, or on the Eventbrite page. And
Okay.
just look for Ashley Home Stores.
All right, and the key to a successful event to make sure we have plenty of food is register.
Register.
Right, go to that. But if you see Captain Tom Burke out and about, he's in West Michigan and he's commissioner in Walker. Just tell him you're looking forward to being at the Lake Michigan Park and watching a Whitecaps game and listening to him as his keynote, because we're kind of all excited about having him
Yes,
there.
we are.
As friends like that. But to spread the word and make this a great event and show our veterans how much we appreciate them and that we are, we're just thankful, correct?
We sure are.
All right, we want to thank Brett Johnson. Anything else I'm missing, Brett?
Now, Pam, I just appreciate the opportunity to talk about our support of the veterans and the upcoming event.
Okay, all right, we want to thank Brett Johnson. He is the regional director of Ashley Home Stores, and you can go into, he's at the Granville one if you want to check it out. That's usually where I find him. But go into Ashley Home Store and check out their veteran wall, right? Their honor wall, and their furniture and anything else you need, patio furniture, all that good stuff. And you won't be, I say you wouldn't be sorry if you walk in there and
Won't
get
be
great prices.
disappointed.
That's right. All right, thank you very much,
Thank you
Brett,
so
for
much,
being
ma'am.
here. Everyone, we will see you on Saturday, August 27th at the Veterans Celebration to honor our veterans. This is Pamela Keim from Grand Tap Media. We want to thank Brett Johnson once again, and we will see you next time. Take care, everyone.
The opinions expressed in the preceding program are those of the producer and not necessarily those of WKTV Community Media.